It has been 6 years since Taehyung and Hani became orphaned after their parents died in car accident. Taehyung and Hani are twins. Taehyung was a healthy boy, but he was weak. He had the ability to convince a child. This made him precious to his parents. Hani, on the other hand, was frail and sick, diagnosed with disease. She had been on treatment for years, leaving her pale and weak. Because of the condition, her family had always treated her like a treasure, but after their parents' sudden death, Hani suffered even more, Taehyung being the stronger one took on the responsibilities, Hani and family. Sometimes he felt exhausted and drained, but every time he saw Hani struggling, the remind himself he only had had her any news from the Jeons. He massages his temple, feeling a sudden headache. Hobby his assistant flip open a folder and place it on the desk. Hobby nothing said. They being silent. Their elder son Jungkook has been working in their main office in Busan. Taehyung let out a heavy sigh. Taehyung, honey, keep talking about that man even after all these years. She still hoped to see him again. What should I do? The doctor said. She only has ear. Should I beg him just so she can be happy, even if a little? And the thought of losing her crushed him, but he didn't want to be selfish. He wanted her to be happy, to be free of pain, but he was not God. He couldn't change the fact. A weak voice spoke from behind him. Honey, beg who? Taehyung breathed. He turned his survivor chair to see his twin standing there, looking pale and emotionless. Taehyung, honey, how long have you been here? Honey, long enough to hear everything, she said softly, her lips forming in a faint smile. Taehyung, why are you always so selfish? You always think about me first. Taehyung glanced at Hobby, silently signaling him to leave. Taehyung, keep observe the Jeons and report to me immediately if anything happens. Hobby nodded and quickly exited the room. Hani walked to the chair in front of the hung desk and sat down. She let out a deep sigh as if she was running out of breath. The hung heart clenched in fear. The hung nurse, he turned to call for Hani private nurse, but she stopped him with a weak hand. Hani, I'm fine. She smiled sadly. I heard what the doctor told you yesterday. At first I was devoted. I didn't want to believe that my time was running out, but this is reality. Taehyung clenched his feet and his eyes welling up. Honey, I was lucky to live until 24 despite this skinniness. No matter how many heart surgeries I had, I am still dying and and the man I boarded all my life rejected me without a second thought. She chuckled brightly. Taehyung, honey, please don't say such things. He pleaded, kneeling beside her chair and holding her cold hands. Taehyung, you are all I have left after mom and dad pass away. I can't lose you to his voice crack. Honey squeezes his hand gently. Honey, Taehyung, this is my faith. We can't change what meant to happen. Her lip trembled, but she forced herself to smile. But I will found a way to make sure you won't be alone, and at the same time it could be a little revenge. Taehyung frowned his eyebrow in confusion. Taehyung, what do you mean? Honey, I heard from a friend that Jungkook is looking for a surrogate mother. Taehyung stiffened. Honey, is clear he doesn't want to marry, so she is choosing to have a child this way. Taehyung want you to be his surrogate. Taehyung abruptly stood up, his chair scraping against the floor. Taehyung, honey, what kind of ridiculous idea is that? Honey, he'll never know, Taehyung. His lawyer is handle everything in a secret. If we do this right, no one will ever suspect. This child will be yours, your own flesh and blood. You'll never be alone. Taehyung shook his head in disbelief. Taehyung, no, this is incense. I won't do it. Honey, think about it. See, instant we have powerful connections. You can use this. This is your chance to show your future. She closed her eyes. Exhausted clear on her face. I'm tired, nurse. Take me to my room. Taehyung stood frozen as he watches his sister being out. His hand intricately touched his belly. He was special. He could convince a child, but would he really take such a big risk? He Inside the tottering headquarters of jeon, a group of companies, CEO Jungkook sat in his large leather chair, flipping thought a click folder, folding with profile of surrogates sitting across from him was Minyoung, his trusted personal assistant. The candidates come from different parts of the world, but Jungkook's attention was streamed to the ones from New York. Their company had a strong presence there, and the city had some of the best medical faculties available. Jungkook lived a profile sheet studying the picture, attend to it. He turned it towards Yoongi. Jungkook, what do you think about this one? She look like she is part Asian, part American, doesn't she? Yoongi leaned forward and inspected the photo. The woman is the picture was stunning. Her golden blonde hair catches down her back. Her delicate nose and puffed lips complement her almond-shaped eyes. Youngie, yes boss, she does. Do you like her? Jungkook nodded, settled the folder down. Jungkook called the manager of our New York branch. Tell him to arrange everything. I want you to go there personally and oversee everything. Find a good place for her to stay. Make sure she is in perfect health and ensure the medical procedures go smoothly. I want the into fertilizer to success on the first stamp. Youngie grabbed the file, nodding. Youngie understood, boss. I'll leave immediately. Jungkook gave a small grunt in response, already turning his focus back to the pile of documents on his desk. Being the only heir of the jeon family come with heavy burden. He had already found it difficult to meet his family expectations, especially when it's come to marriage. His parents had arranged multiple marriage proposals for him, but he rejected every single one. They wanted him to marry a woman, someone who could restore the jeon bloodline, but he had no interest in such a relationship. His parents refused to expect that love was not just about having children. They called in a natural sinful, even against the law of God. But Jungkook didn't care. Jungkook, and they can say whatever they want. It's my life, not there. His parents' endless pressure gave him headache. He never. He refused to be trapped in a loveless marriage for the sake of tradition. Instead, he focused all his energy on his work as a CEO. It was his responsibility to maintain and expect the Jian enterprise. Their business covered multiple industries: telecommunication, luxury hotels, real, and more. There was no time to search for a romantic parents, and honestly, Jungkook had no intention in doing so. Many people only saw his wealth, not him as a person. He had encountered enough opportunity wove in sharp cloth. Gold digger pretending to be in love. The idea of marriage felt like a trap. That's why he chose surrogacy. Jungkook. This way, I can have an heir without unnecessary complicated. No attachment, no betrayal. Just my child and me. With that final thought, Jungkook exhaled slowly, his gaze turning to the document before him. Jungkook, perhaps this is for the best. In a luxurious apartment, Taehyung stood in front of the mirror, adjusting his blonde hair extension. His naturally black roots were now hidden and thought where a big would have been erased. He opened to dye his hair. Instant, he applied a final touch of makeup, making sure his feature looked more feminine. Dressed in a front-fitting bodycon dress, parted with flat boots and a dress coat, he looked even a bit the part of Hana. Honey watched him, her pale hand clutched a channel bag as she handed it over to him. Honey, for our family and for you to have someone by your side forever, I hope everything goes well. Taehyung let out a soft chuckle, thought his heart was heavy. Taehyung, silly, don't worry about me, just focus on your health. I'll meet Jungkook assistant at the hospital. He had already received an email from a man named Min who claimed to be Jungkook assistant. The hospital where the medical treats would take place was owned by Dr. Minho, and since Taehyung was one of its investor, getting the result adjusting would be easy. Honey reached for his hand, squeezed it weakly. Honey, see you in 3 months already. Alright, Taehyung hugged her tightly, trying not to let his emotions show. Taehyung, see you soon, take care. Honey waved one last time as she was escorted to the car that would take her to their private island. Watching her leave, Taehyung took a deep breath before heading outside to the wheelchair waiting for him. Arriving at the hospital launch, Taehyung immediately stopped at Min Yoongi. He recognized him from the photo attached to the email. The man had a sharp gaze and his expression was unreadable. Taehyung approached him with a confident and gentle stride, slightly softening his voice to sound more feminine. Taehyung, Mr. Yoongi. Yoongi lifted his gaze, scanning Taehyung from head to toe. Yoongi, are you Hana? Yes, that's me. Can we start the process now? Youngie nodded in satisfaction, clear, impressed. Youngie, yes, that's a process. Let's proceed. The hospital staff let Taehyung thought a series of the medical test. It was a long process, but he demanded patience, knowing that this was just the beginning of his plan. After the tests were completed, they were told that the result would be available in the 3 days. As they stepped out of the examination room, Taehyung turned to Yoongi. Mr. Yoongi, I have my own place in New York. Let's meet again after 3 days where the results are ready. Yoongi shook his head. Youngie, I'm sorry, Miss Rana, but Mr. Jeon has already arranged a penthouse from you. That will be your residence. Thought the pregnancy period we all handle there now. Taehyung Rajanam but quickly composed himself. Taehyung, of course, he would leave any loose hand. Taehyung, if that's the case, led the way. Taehyung followed behind Yoongi, black Rahul Records in his own car, and soon they arrived at the elegant communicate building in the From the way the staff greeted them, Taehyung immediately knew this place belonged to the jeon family. Yoongi handed him a sleek black car card. Yoongi, the penthouse is on the top floor. It's fully furnished with everything you might need. Just focus on taking care of yourself. I'll check in again after 3 days. Taehyung nodded, taking the key card before grabbing his luggage. Taehyung, alright, thank you. As Taehyung disappeared inside the building, Yoongi took out his phone and dialed Jungkook, who was still in. Yoongi, boss, everything is settled. The test result will be ready in 3 days. Jungkook, leaning back in his chair, exhaled slowly. Jungkook, I'll be there. Keep on eyes on her. After ending the call, Jungkook rubbed his temple. Jungkook to himself, I didn't think surrogacy would be this easy. Taehyung walked slowly through the penthouse, his eyes scanning every corner of the luxurious space. Everything was perfectly arranged. Modern furniture, a large kitchen, soft lighting, and a breathing view of the city. He let out a small sign in satisfaction. Taehyung to himself, at least this part is nice. As he placed his bag on the couch, his phone suddenly rang. He reached for it and smiled slightly when he saw Honey's name on the screen. Taehyung, hello, Honey. Urgently, did you arrive safely? Taehyung, yes, I am here now. The room is nice, just the way I like it. He went on the tell her about the body checkup, examining how Dr. Minu had encouraged that everything was handled properly. Honey let out a reveal sign. Honey, that's good. Make sure the contact me the moment your test results are out, alright? Taehyung, of course, don't worry. The call ended, leaving Taehyung staring at his phone. For a moment, he changed into comfortable sleepwear and headed to the bathroom for a warm shower before finally crawling. 3 days later, and the past few days has been peaceful. Taehyung had taken the time to explore the city, shopping in and enjoying the atmosphere for a while. He almost forgot the weight of the secret he was carrying, but then his phone buzzed with call from Yoongi. Yoongi, Miss Hana, the test results are ready. Mr. Jeon is arriving today to personally authorize the next step. Taehyung breathed, caught in his throat. Taehyung thinking he's coming. Why does he need to be here? What if he found out? I need to get pregnant as soon as possible and leave. Feeling a sudden wave of nervousness, he tightened his blonde wig and adjusting his outfit, a bodycon dress with a cardigan and boots. After grabbing his purse, he stepped out of the penthouse. Youngie was already waiting outside, standing near a silk black car, but what shocked him the most was the person sitting in the back seat was Jungkook. Taehyung clutched around his purse. He focused himself to stay calm. Taehyung pretending not to recognize him. Oh, Youngie, who is this? Youngie glanced at him with a natural expression. Youngie, this is my boss. Get in. We didn't have much time. Taehyung hesitated for a second before sliding into the seat beside Jungkook. He kept his gaze forward, refusing to acknowledge the man beside him. The ride was silent. Taehyung thinking, I have nothing to say to him anyway. The car pulled up to the hospital sooner than expected. The moment they stepped inside, the doctor greeted them and headed over the test result. Doctor, everything looked great. The surrogacy process can begin immediately. Jungkook simply nodded his face and rebelled without another word. He was escorted the laboratory where the sperm collection process would take place. Meanwhile, Taehyung was led to another room. He lay down on the medical bed, his heart pounding in his chest. Taehyung thinking, just stay calm, it's all almost over. And the doctor moved quickly, preparing the place, the fertilizing inside his. Taehyung closed his eyes, silently praying. Taehyung thinking, let this work, please let this work. Jungkook leaned back in his chair, arms crossed, staring blankly at the floor as he waited outside the laboratory. The surrogacy process was now in motion, and he expected it to take last 2 weeks for everything to be completed. And what he didn't know was that Taehyung had secretly arranged for the process to move much faster. Jungkook, however, believed that it was simply because of his own influence. He was confident, almost certain, that everything would go smoothly. Yoongi, sitting beside him, observing his boss's calm expression and frank slightly. Yoongi, boss, are not you planning to go back to Korea? There's no need for you to stay here. Jungkook barely glanced at him before replying. Jungkook, no, I want to meet the surrogate in person. Yoongi eyes widened in disbelief. Yoongi, what? That unnecessary. What if she just using this as an opportunity to get close to you? What if she's after your money? Jungkook sighed and rolled his eyes. Jungkook, Yoongi, you are examining Yoongi's girlfriend across his arms. Yoongi, I'm just stating fact, and there are many women who dream of becoming the wife of John Jungkook. What if she has hidden motives? Jungkook shook his head unpressed. Jungkook, do you really think I'm that easy to fool? You've been my assistant for years, and you still don't trust my judgment. Yoongi have in frustration. Yoongi, fine, do what you want, but don't say I didn't warn you. Before Jungkook could respond, the laboratory door swung open. A doctor stepped out, holding a file. Doctor, Mr. Jeon, Jungkook immediately stood up. Jungkook, I'm here. The doctor gave him a reassuring smile. Doctor, congratulations. The embryo has successfully settled in her uterus. Now all that's left is to ensure she stay healthy throughout the pregnancy. Please take good care of her until she gave birth. Jungkook felt a wave of relief was over him. He had been holding so much tension, but now it was official. His heir was on the way. His parents would finally stop pushing him into an arranged marriage. Jungkook, thank you, doctor. I appreciate your hard work. The doctor nodded. Jungkook, doctor, it's my job wishing you all the best. With that, the doctor left his office, and Jungkook pulled out his phone and dialed a number and waited for the call to connect. A family was answered. Jungkook and Dr. Mino, it's done. Oh, the other hand, Dr. Mino chuckled. Dr. Mino, good job. Meanwhile, another location, Hani was pacing back and forth nervously when she heard the news. She let out a sign, screaming of excitement. Honey, it's successful. Oh my God, Dr. Smith, the doctor responsible for overseeing the process, smiled at her reaction. Dr. Smith, I'm glad to help. The Kim family has done so much for me. If it was not for your parents, I wouldn't be here I am today. This This is at least I can do. Honey was bomb with gratitude. Honey, thank you, Dr. Smith. The Kim will always support you. The doctor chuckled softly. Dr. Smith, that's kind of you, but for now I need to check on my other patients. He then turned to Dr. Minho. Dr. Smith, Dr. Minho, please take good care of Honey. Dr. Minho's nod. Dr. Minho, you don't have to remind me. I know what to do. The call ended and Dr. Mino picked up a patient chart before heading off to do his routine. Taehyung lay still on the hospital bed, resting gently over his stomach. The news that the bamboo had successfully settled inside him had sunk in, but he still found it hard to believe he had taken a huge risk and now there was no turning back. His finger unconsciously rubbed his stomach in slow, smoothing circle. His thoughts were interpreted by a soft knock on the door. He quickly adjusted his finger, making sure it was perfectly in place. He placed the blanket on his chest, clearing his throat. He softened his voice. Taehyung came in. The door cracked open slightly and Yoongi peeked inside. Yoongi, Miss Hana, he greeted with a no. Taehyung gave him a small, politely smile, thought his hand trembled, breathed in blanket. Yoongi, my boss is here. He wants to see you. At those words, Taehyung felt his entire body tense, his heartbeat uneven. Jungkook, the man he despite the man responsible for everything, was here. For a moment, for Captain Jungkook was known for his ruthlessness, his cold demeanor, and his intimidating presence. Could he really fool this man? Would Jungkook see his disgust? He swallowed hard, forcing himself to remain calm. His hand gripped the blanket tightly. Jungkook let him in. Yoongi gave a slight nod before stepping aside, and then he walked in. Jungkook, dressed in a all-black three-piece suit, he carried himself with the confidence of a man who won everything in his world. His sharp chest were to perfection. His dark eyes, deep unable, his presence alone made the air in the room feel heavier. Their eyes met. Taehyung felt a shiver run down his spine. Jungkook's gaze was cold, unable but piercing, like he could see straight into his soul. Taehyung, on the other hand, made his emotion behind a polite smile, but deep inside a storm of emotion, regret, hearted fear, uncertainty, of pair of eyes held quickly hospitality. The other, a cold darkness that sent a chill in the air. For the few seconds, neither of them spoke. The tension in the room. Jungkook, how are you feeling? His voice was deep, calm, and emotionless. Taehyung straightened his posture, tightening his grip on the blanket. He forced a smile to speak. His voice soft and controlled. Taehyung, I am fine. Thank you for asking, Mr. Jeon. Jungkook studied him for a long moment, his gaze unable. Jungkook, good. You'll be discharged tomorrow. Make sure to follow all the instructions the doctor gave you. Your health is important now. Taehyung nodded, keeping his expression natural. Taehyung, I understood. I'll take care of myself. Jungkook gave a single nod, then glanced at Yoongi. Jungkook, prepare everything for his discharge. I want update on her condition every day. Young years was Jungkook turned back to Taehyung, his dark eyes still holding that unable intensity. Jungkook get some rest. Without waiting for a response, he turned on his heel and walked out, leaving behind a presence that made it hard to breathe. As soon as the door closed, Taehyung let out a shaky breath. His hand clutched the blanket tightly. He had done it. He had faced Jungkook without revealing his true identity, but this was just the beginning.